If you are a U.S. citizen, a green card holder, someone waiting for your immigration case to be approved, or simply a person who travels internationally, then you have likely noticed some concerning headlines recently about new passport regulations coming in February. Perhaps you observed something on social media, or a family member contacted you worried, or you came across an article that made your heart race just a little faster. I want you to understand that I recognize that feeling. When it comes to immigration and travel documents, any modification can feel overwhelming, especially when the information online is scattered, confusing, or sometimes exaggerated for attention. But here is what I want you to comprehend right from the beginning. My purpose today is not to frighten you. My purpose is not to make you panic. My purpose is to sit with you calmly and explain exactly what these new regulations mean, who they impact, who they do not impact, and what steps, if any, you might need to take. I want to provide you clarity. I want to replace confusion with understanding. And by the conclusion of this video, I want you to feel more confident and informed than you did when you clicked on it. Welcome to U.S. Policy Brief, your reliable source for the latest U.S. immigration news. I have been following U.S. immigration and travel policy updates for many years. I am not a lawyer. I am not a government official. I am simply someone who believes that every person deserves access to clear, honest, and easy-to-understand information about the systems that affect their lives. So let us take this journey together, step by step, with no rush and no panic. Before we proceed any further, I want to be very clear about something important. Nothing I share in this video should be considered legal advice. I am not qualified to provide legal advice, and I would never pretend to be. What I am sharing today is general information based on publicly available announcements and policy updates. Every person's situation is unique. If you have specific concerns about your passport, your immigration status, or your travel plans, please consult with a qualified immigration attorney or contact the appropriate government agencies directly. This video is meant to inform and educate, not to replace professional guidance. With that understanding, let us continue. Now let us discuss what is actually happening with passport regulations in February. There has been a lot of noise online, and I want to cut through that noise and provide you the facts. The modifications that are coming relate primarily to updated requirements for passport applications, enhanced security features on new passports, and in some cases, adjustments to processing procedures. These modifications are part of ongoing efforts by the State Department to modernize the passport system, improve security, and align with international standards. They are not sudden, they are not punitive, and they are not designed to target any specific group of people. One of the key updates involves the introduction of enhanced security features in newly issued passports. This means that passports printed after a certain date will include additional layers of protection against fraud and counterfeiting. For most people, this modification will be invisible. You will simply receive a passport that has better security embedded within it. You do not need to do anything special to qualify for these features. They will be included automatically in all new passports. Another aspect of the February modifications involves updated documentation requirements for certain applicants. In some cases, individuals applying for a new passport or renewing an existing one may need to provide additional supporting documents. This could include updated proof of citizenship, additional photographs, or verification of identity through secondary means. Again, these requirements are not designed to create obstacles. They are designed to ensure that the passport system remains secure and that passports are issued only to those who are truly eligible. Now, let me take a moment to address something very important. Who do these modifications actually apply to? This is where a lot of confusion exists, and I want to be as clear as possible. The new regulations apply primarily to individuals who are applying for a new passport for the first time, individuals who are renewing their passports, and individuals who need to correct or update information on their existing passports. If you already have a valid U.S. passport and you are not planning to renew it or make modifications to it, these new regulations do not require any immediate action from you. Your existing passport remains valid until its expiration date. Let me state that again, because I understand some of you may be feeling worried. If you possess a valid U.S. passport right now and it has not expired, you do not need to rush out and do anything. Your passport is still valid. You can still travel. These modifications apply to the application and issuance process, not to passports that have already been issued and remain within their validity period. Now, who are these modifications not designed for? There has been some fear online that these new regulations are targeting immigrants, naturalized citizens, or green card holders in some way. I want to address this directly because I understand it is causing anxiety for many people. The passport modifications coming in February are not targeted at any specific group. They apply equally to all U.S. citizens, whether you were born in the United States or whether you became a citizen through naturalization. The regulations do not distinguish between these two groups in terms of eligibility or treatment. If you are a naturalized U.S. citizen, you have the same passport rights as someone who was born a citizen. Your citizenship is equally valid. Your passport is equally valid. The new regulations do not alter this fundamental truth. There is no separate set of regulations for naturalized citizens. There is no additional scrutiny built into these updates that specifically targets people who were not born in the United States. Please let this reassurance settle into your mind and heart. For green card holders, I want to make something else very clear. Green card holders, also known as lawful permanent residents, do not possess U.S. passports. Green card holders travel on the passports of their country of citizenship along with their green card, which permits them to re-enter the United States. The new passport regulations apply to U.S. citizens only because only U.S. citizens are eligible for U.S. passports. So if you are a green card holder and you are worried about these modifications, please understand that they do not directly apply to you. Your green card and your foreign passport remain your travel documents, and the regulations governing those documents are separate from what we are discussing today. Take a breath with me for a moment. I understand that reading about any kind of regulation change can feel stressful. Our minds often go to the worst-case scenario, but I want you to remember that most government policy modifications are gradual, procedural, and designed to improve systems, not to punish people. The immigration and travel document systems in the United States are built on processes that involve evidence, documentation, and time. Nothing occurs overnight. Nothing occurs without reason. Let us discuss some common myths versus reality. One myth I have observed circulating is that the new regulations will make it harder for immigrants to obtain passports. The reality is that the regulations for who can obtain a U.S. passport have not changed. Only U.S. citizens can obtain U.S. passports. If you are a U.S. citizen, whether by birth or naturalization, you remain eligible for a U.S. passport. The process may include updated requirements, but your eligibility is not in question simply because of these procedural modifications. Another myth is that existing passports will be invalidated or recalled. This is not true. Passports that have already been issued remain valid until their printed expiration date. The government is not recalling passports. The government is not canceling passports. If your passport indicates it is valid until a certain year, it remains valid until that year unless you lose it, damage it, or have it revoked for specific legal reasons, which is extremely rare and involves serious due process. A third myth I've encountered is that dual citizens will face extra scrutiny or restrictions. While it is true that dual citizenship can sometimes involve additional considerations, especially when traveling to certain countries, the new February regulations do not single out dual citizens for any particular treatment. Dual citizenship is legal in the United States, and millions of Americans possess dual citizenship without any issues. If you are a dual citizen, you should continue to follow the existing guidelines for entering and exiting the United States, which generally recommend using your U.S. passport when entering the U.S. Now let me discuss some rare situations versus everyday life. The internet has a way of taking rare extreme cases and making them seem like common occurrences. You may have read stories about people having their passports denied or revoked, and these stories can be frightening. But I want to provide you some perspective. In the vast majority of cases, passport applications are processed smoothly. Denials are rare, and they typically occur when there are significant issues with documentation, outstanding legal matters, such as certain criminal cases or unpaid child support, or evidence of fraud. Revocations are even rarer. A passport can only be revoked under very specific circumstances, usually involving serious legal issues or fraud. This is not something that occurs to ordinary people going about their daily lives. If you are a law-abiding citizen who has obtained your status through proper channels, you have very little to worry about. The system is designed to function fairly, and while no system is perfect, the overwhelming majority of people navigate it without any problems. Let us move into some practical guidance for you. What should you do in light of these new regulations? First, if your passport is expiring within the next year, consider renewing it before the expiration date. This is good advice, regardless of any regulation modifications. Having a valid passport provides you flexibility for unexpected travel needs. Second, when applying for a new passport or renewing an existing one, make sure you have all required documents ready. Check the State Department website for the most current list of requirements. Having complete and accurate documentation makes the process smoother and reduces the chance of delays. Third, keep copies of your important documents in a safe place. This includes your birth certificate, naturalization certificate if applicable, previous passports, and any other identity documents. Having these readily available makes it easier to respond to any requests for additional information. Fourth, be patient with processing times. I understand this is easier said than done, but passport processing can take several weeks or even months depending on demand. If you have upcoming travel, plan ahead and apply well in advance. If you need expedited processing, that option is available for an additional fee, but even expedited processing takes time. What should you not panic about? You should not panic about headlines that use extreme language or suggest that your rights are being taken away. Headlines are designed to capture attention. They do not always reflect the full story. You should not panic about modifications that have not yet been officially announced or implemented. Sometimes rumors spread faster than facts. Always verify information through official government sources before taking action. You should not panic about being targeted because of your immigration history. If you have obtained your citizenship or your status through proper legal channels, you have every right to be here and to access the same benefits as any other citizen or legal resident. The system is designed to protect legitimate status holders, not to harass them. Let me take a moment to discuss the broader immigration context, because I understand many of you are not only thinking about passports, you are thinking about your green card applications, your citizenship interviews, your visa renewals, and all the other pieces of the immigration puzzle. I want you to understand that delays and backlogs are a normal though frustrating part of the immigration system. USCIS, the agency that handles most immigration applications, has been dealing with significant backlogs for years. If you are waiting for your case to be processed and you have not heard anything in a while, you are not alone. Millions of people are in the same situation. Processing times vary widely depending on the type of application, the service center handling your case, and the overall volume of applications. It is normal to wait months and in some cases years for certain applications to be processed. This does not mean something is wrong with your case. It means the system is overwhelmed and working through a large volume of applications. If you are concerned about your specific case, you can check your case status online using the USCIS case status tool. If your case is outside normal processing times, you can submit an inquiry or request expedited processing if you meet certain criteria. But in most cases, the best thing you can do is wait and trust the process, as difficult as that may be. I want to take a moment now to speak directly to your heart. I understand that immigration is not just a legal process. It is a deeply personal journey. It affects your sense of security, your plans for the future, your relationships with family, and your identity. When you observe headlines about regulation modifications or policy updates, it is natural to feel afraid. It is natural to wonder what it means for you and your loved ones. But I want you to understand that feeling afraid does not mean something bad is occurring. Fear is often a response to uncertainty, and uncertainty is a constant companion in the immigration world. The key is to not let fear paralyze you or lead you to make decisions based on incomplete information. Instead, seek out reliable sources. Consult with professionals when needed, and remember that millions of people have walked this path before you and found their way through. You are not alone in this journey. There are communities, organizations, and individuals who understand what you are going through and who want to help. If you are feeling overwhelmed, reach out. Whether it is to a trusted friend, a community organization, or a professional, there is support available. As we come to the conclusion of this video, let me summarize what we have covered. New passport regulations are coming in February, and they involve updated security features and some procedural modifications. These modifications apply to new passport applications and renewals. If you already possess a valid passport, it remains valid until its expiration date. The modifications do not target immigrants, naturalized citizens, or any specific group. They apply equally to all U.S. citizens. Green card holders are not directly affected by these modifications as they do not possess U.S. passports. Most myths circulating online are exaggerated or false. Always verify information through official sources. The best thing you can do is stay informed, keep your documents organized, and apply for renewals or new passports with ample time before any travel. The immigration and travel document systems in the United States are structured, procedural, and based on evidence and due process. They are not random. They are not arbitrary. They are designed to function in a predictable way, even if that way sometimes feels slow or frustrating. Your citizenship, your status, and your rights are protected by law. Modifications to procedures do not alter the fundamental protections you possess. I hope this video has provided you some peace of mind. I hope it has replaced confusion with clarity and fear with confidence. Remember, staying informed is important, but staying calm is equally important. Knowledge and peace can coexist. If you found this video helpful, I would be grateful if you subscribe to US Policy Brief for more updates. I try to bring you information that is accurate, clear, and respectful of your time and emotions. If you have questions or thoughts, feel free to leave a comment. I read them and I appreciate hearing from you. Your experiences and perspectives matter. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for trusting me with your attention. Whatever stage of the immigration journey you are on, whether you are a citizen, a green card holder, or someone waiting for approval, I wish you patience, peace, and all the best outcomes. You are doing the right thing by staying informed. Keep going one step at a time. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next update.